So just today, I came back to my office for lunch and discovered that this 92-year-old man was waiting for me there. Somebody who a week and a half ago I made a verbal commitment to get together with today to go and look at some trees with. And I thought that he was supposed to call me back. I'd forgotten he'd been there for about a half hour. He wasn't upset at all. He was just waiting for me. So we jumped into my truck. He climbed into my truck. I jumped in, and I turned on the AC, and away we went. First, to look at a tree up by the environmental dump, the environmental center up on County Road 19. Sorry, I call it the environmental dump. That's my shorthand. He wanted to confirm whether it was a shingle oak or not. I had never noticed the tree there, but he had. And then we went out to his house, which was just outside of Goshen. That had been my agreement that I would go with him to look at some things there. I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't sure what he wanted. I knew that he was really interested in chestnut trees. And that can be another segue. So we went to his house, and so this guy has been working at grafting nut trees for the past 50 years. And he's got this forested plot, heavily forested plot, but for the past 50 years he's been grafting walnuts to pecans to hickories, and he's been grafting some oak trees in some different ways, and you can walk around his yard and you can see the progression, the succession of trees getting larger and larger, the graft marks still there, and he talked with love about each one of these trees. I could have stayed there all afternoon, I'm sure. He would have talked to me that long. I had a meeting at 1, so we couldn't. But it was just gorgeous to hear this 92-year-old man talk with such reverence about these trees that he'd been working with all these years, and to hear that he was interested in what was happening in Goshen. Somebody who has been in and around Goshen his whole life, and very curious about the trees that we're planting in Goshen, and why in hell, he said, would you plant a hackberry? That's like a weed tree. And hackberry has become one of the important trees that I plant. It's a tree that is an important replacement for ash, which we can no longer plant, right? You want to know why in hell we would want to be planting something so dirty as that. And I didn't try to explain. These encounters and these stories, I was only getting the tip of the iceberg with Dwight about what his story is, and how it was that he found his way to the Reese Center, and we began having some conversations already last fall when he brought me some chestnut trees, seedlings that he'd gotten in the mail from the Chestnut Foundation of America, and didn't have room for anymore. He didn't think. I probably agree. And so I put them into the nursery. But an example of the kind of person-to-person relationship that I find myself stumbling in and out of almost weekly with different people, and I don't always get to have a real in-depth conversation. However, some of these people kind of push the issue, and that's okay. That's okay sometimes. and that becomes part of the larger story that is woven into and through this forestry work, where here in the Maple City there has been this long-term relationship with trees and with people. Urban forestry must be people and trees. We kind of referenced that earlier. And talking with Dwight, who's been in and around the project that is Goshen for so long, I was hearing the ripples of that story in new ways.